Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lizzie, and for today's video, we are talking about girls with balls.
These ladies and myself would like some rooms for the night. Your mother delivered you standing. Touch my woman and I'll cut your balls off!
This is a Netflix original, and if you haven't seen my previous review where I reviewed a classic horror film, I highly suggest checking that one out, but I'm going to kind of reference that in this review a little bit as well. So this one is another Netflix original, just like that one, and just like that one, this is filmed in another country and dubbed over into English. And if you did watch that previous review, you know the big part of the problem I had with that one was how bad the dubbing was. Now for this one, it actually wasn't horrible. It definitely, I don't think, was as bad as the previous aforementioned film. Still wasn't great, but definitely wasn't the worst. I will say, however, I feel bad for anybody who did have to watch this one in subtitles, because I always have my subtitles on, but it would have been no help because subtitles were just all over the place. They did not match the dubbed audio at all. I don't know if maybe the subtitles were meant to match the original audio, which would have been in French, I believe, and that would make sense as to why it was so messed up, because it definitely did not match the English dubbed over, and it was just it was really just all over the place, as was this film in general. So it follows this story of a female volleyball team who are driving in a RV after a away game, and they end up, kind of like most road trip films, they end up stopping at a skeezy place and meet some skeezy people who they end up running into later on down the road and have to fight for their lives. And it sounded really good going into it. I was a little hesitant given the title of the film initially, just going into it, but I thought, it's meant to be a horror comedy, maybe it'll be really good and really funny. It kind of missed the mark, but I've talked about this with other similar films before in the past. There's female-led horror films that are written and directed by men, that sometimes, unfortunately a lot of times, it can just completely miss the mark, miss the point. It was just not a case of it being well done. I've done films and talked about films before that have been really well done. I think that All Cheerleaders Die is a good example. It's got its moments, but it's definitely better than some cases like this film. All the female characters is very stereotypical. They were either basically fucking or fighting, sleeping with each other's boyfriends. You had like one token lesbian character in the film who is just like this outright bitch, but even though like these are clearly like city girls, she somehow, like, she knows how to fix a car and hunt, and not to say that women don't do that, but it's very stereotypical, like, we're gonna shove these characteristics onto the one gay character in this film, who is also just kind of creepy at moments as well, and it was just not good representation. These girls were horrible. It was very like, oh, women are petty and they're all gonna be like pinned against each other throughout the entire film, and even our one like person of color, she was like the worst character in the film as well, and really the only likable character is their male coach, and that just, in my opinion, says a lot about the writing and directing of this film and just how not good it was. And just nothing really came off funny. Like, there were so many moments that probably could have been funny, but they just weren't in this film, and none of the comedy, in my opinion, played out right, and that could be partially due to the fact that, again, it was dubbed from French into English, but who knows, even if it hadn't been, the subtitles, like I said, were all over the place, so who knows if that would have even been any help to this film whatsoever. It's disappointing. These are like two different Netflix films. One was a more serious one with a classic horror film, and this one was meant to be a comedy, but they were both just misses. No hits this week, unfortunately. But I will say there was one kind of funny part throughout the film, and that is that there was this like very country singer type character who narrates throughout the film, not like the entire thing, but he pops up seeing little bits in sections of the film between scenes. And his songs and moments were pretty funny until you get to the end where he basically sings this line that's like the equivalent of telling women like they're the ones that need to be safe, and instead of telling men not to be creepers. So yeah, I was just like, all in all, this film was really pretty disappointing. I mean, I guess you could refer to it as like a popcorn film, but I wouldn't even say that it was like so bad it's good or anything. Like, it was just not an enjoyable film at all. So if you have seen this one, let me know what your thoughts are on it in the comments below. If you did enjoy this review, please do give it a big old thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button for more horror-related content. And before I go, a quick shout out to my Patreons. Thank you guys so much for helping to contribute to the channel. If you know the perks to being a Patreon, links are in the description below, along with all of my other social media. And I'll see you guys again later with another video. Bye!